is I want to start off about turf because everybody seems to be talking about turf now. And it's something that keeps popping up. Kittle brings it up every now and then. There's other players that bring it up. But what do you guys think about turf? Is turf the only reason why our guys keep getting hurt? Or could it be something else that the 49ers just aren't doing with their conditioning program or whatever the case? What do you think? Let's start with UTL.
I do feel like turf is an issue. As a football player, I would definitely rather play on natural grass. It's just a little easier to cut and pivot and, stuff like that on, your cleats don't get caught as much, on the grass as it does the turf, and that's why they call it the turf monster. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'll hold you back a little bit when you're trying to, when you're trying to make football plays. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just because I'm a 49er fan and I see the injuries, but I do lightweight feel like our teams gets injured more than anybody. Like I just feel like year in and year out, it's always us. Like I remember last year, like Baltimore was the team with all the injuries. Like all the running backs got hurt. Like they had a terrible injury history, kind of like what we had in 2020. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was just horrendous. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's our strength and conditioning program or what, but I just feel like this 49ers team, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because we're such a physical team. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it seems like we're always in the news. We're losing players every single year, But I mean, however you do look at it, we do have, the Jason Verrett's of the world and, a couple players that we have that have been injury prone their whole career, no matter what team they've been on. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say. I wish I was a fly on the wall, like in that training room, so I can say like exactly what's going on, because it does honestly feel like our team has the worst injuries in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Miriah? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree on the turf. Like, I hate turf. Growing up playing soccer, I hated playing on turf just the same. And, you bring up Kittle, and, like, I agree with what Kittle came out and said yesterday or whenever this week about, if teams are going to be – the whole thing I think is that these guys deserve better. Like, they deserve the best. You're paying these guys millions of dollars to go out there and put the best product on the field, and you can't even give them a field that's worth a crap. And like Kittle said, if you're going to use turf, at least make them all the same turf. Like, why is it every time they go to play somewhere, they're having to switch up the surface, which means different cleats. They don't know how this turf's going to be compared to this turf, compared to that turf, till they actually get there. So they have to carry different cleats, different, spikes, whatever on them, like all this other shit. And like, I won't say that turf obviously isn't to blame for all the injuries. I don't think there's one single thing that we can blame for all the injuries, but I think turf, if you look at the NFL as a whole, like not just our team, turf has a big impact on the injuries, like NFL wide.
Yeah.
But like you said, there has to be something, like, I don't know, like when the players are hurt and they come back, like we always want to blame the training staff, because who else is there to blame, right? But like the players are always talking great about the training staff.
Yeah.
Like anytime there's a player from injury, even Jason Verrett, Mike McGlinchey, like every single guy has talked about how great the training staff is. Whatever, Justin Peters or whatever his name is, and like they're always bringing up these guys that, if it wasn't for them, like I would have never got back from this injury, or the 49ers have the top class of everything. All the players are always saying that, the coaches say that, everybody says that. So it's like, what is it then? And you bring up the Ravens. Even right now, there's only one team more injured, has more starters injured than us, and that's the Ravens. So something, I don't know, something's weird. Like, how's it again the 49ers and the Ravens? Like, I don't know if it's just because we're both run dominant teams.
Yeah.
Like we both play physical style, punch you in the mouth football. Like, I don't know, but
I think of it as like I look at it in a couple of ways, and it was interesting, like hearing like what you just talked about with Kittle was talking about the different kinds of turfs and thinking about having to wear different kind of cleats. It made me think about how the NFL also doesn't let these guys hit high. They want them to hit low. Like, what does that do? That's going to cause more lower extremity injuries also, because guess when their feet get caught in the turf, like if their feet are getting caught in the turf, Like, and you're making them tackle low. What's that going to do? Their feet are going to get caught in the turf. So I just look at it. I just look at it as the NFL has done a kind of a crappy job, I feel, of protecting its investment. These are investments. This is not just some random guy and they're just replaceable. They're just replaceable pieces to a chessboard. I mean, I know that that's the way they think of it a lot of the time, but they're not. They're not guys on Madden. They're not pixels. They're real people. And I think that every other job has to think of their players or has to think of people and the safety of their workers. Why are we not expecting the NFL to be more proactive? Because they're always reactive. If they always wait for something to happen, and then all of a sudden we want to put something in place. But like, why are they not thinking the same thing that you just mentioned about that Kittle's mentioning? That I'm sure this isn't the first time that they've mentioned it. And I know that Kittle has been putting like promos and stuff on about this since 2 years ago.
Yeah, the NFL players even had a petition, I know, that was going around last season, that they were all signing, how many ever signatures to get this to go, blah, 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 to get turf taken out. And it was way past the number, but like, I don't know whatever happens to that shit, like, who does that get turned into? Who makes the decisions? Obviously, it's not making much of a difference because there was like millions of signatures on that thing.
Yeah. This is another aspect of it. It's part of the NFLPA's problem too. Because they're not doing anything either. If these are your players, these players are paying you to represent them in negotiation tables. What are you doing? What are you doing to get your the people that are paying you good money to protect them? What are you doing for them? And if he gives you a petition that he's got enough signatures for, then these are billionaires. Let's not talk about the cost of everybody having real grass. Like I get it that there's snow in some of these places, that some of these places have domes, all that stuff. Okay, you're making billions. Roll that grass up and put it and roll it out every single week. It's not that big of a thing, I don't feel. And
that's
it's
funny,
sure it's me.
Peter.
Yeah. You go ahead, TL.
No, I'm just saying that's funny you say that because the Raider Stadium, like they
That's
can
what I was just
interchange.
gonna say.
Yeah, they can
interchange.
interchange. Yeah, they can interchange their stuff. They have 2 different fields that they roll out. So they have like a real grass that they put out in the sun. They water it every day, make sure it's cut down and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a way. Like Miriah said, like these are billionaires. These players deserve the best. Like there is no way you can tell me that you can't put the best, whatever it is, the turf that's going to be less effective as far as getting people hurt or whatever grass you're going to put in. Like you can pay some landscaper to come in and make sure that grass is taken care of all year round. So I don't want to hear this, affordability stuff. So it's just crazy to me that these billionaires can't get this right. You know what I mean? Like you said, like they're investments, you know what I mean? Which I hate to call humans investments, but that's what they are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know about you, I think you did say you played football, but it's funny how you said that they don't let these guys hit high. Me?